Hello and welcome to this podcast or Conversations with Friends.
Hello.
Today's topic is government.
Yeah.
And sorry if it's not as
Energetic.
Yeah, we're both really tired. We had a long day. Like a very, very long day.
Alright. Government.
What type of government?
Well, in America right now, our government, it works.
It works-ish. It's about to shut down again.
I kind of feel like it's ripe for collapse.
Oh, it is ripe for a collapse.
There are...
All of these corrupt politicians are taking over the government to where it's making almost America uninhabitable.
Uninhabitable?
Whatever.
That's
You understand what I'm saying.
But
But anyways, it's making it so some people don't even want to live here. And then everyone says America's the greatest. It is great, but we're not the only ones that have freedom.
there's other...
Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. A bunch of other places have freedom.
It's not the same type of freedom.
No, but it's similar to where we probably wouldn't notice that big of a difference.
Yeah, I've gone to Canada several times.
Where I haven't left the States yet. Closest I've got was being able to stare at the border to Mexico. In a car, though.
Anyways, the government, again,
How it's going to collapse in a few years, probably,
It-
or
it
even
might.
this year.
it potentially could collapse, which is a scary thought, because if the government collapsed, who knows what would happen.
Riots,
Chaos for sure would happen.
It would be really cool is right as the government collapses, all of America just goes, finally. And then lives out their lives, finding new ways to have currency and stuff, and then just build.
Currency, and it just doesn't phase anybody.
Yeah, that would be so cool. It's just like
That would be funny.
it's like the government collapses. Finally, we got rid of them. All right, let's continue, and just continues with your day-to-day life. Like you still get paid because everybody gets paid in a way.
Yeah, the problem would be that it would never happen like that
Because too many jobs require
rely on the
Yeah.
government.
rely on the government paying.
Federal and state government.
Okay. Excuse me. Whatever I had for lunch is not liking me right now.
Alrighty. What else is there about the government?
Communism.
Communism, in theory, is actually good. Could actually work.
Yes.
The problem is the fact that most communist countries, they have one leader, and that one leader, it gets corrupt. Sorry, I'm rambling now. I'm stumbling over words.
No, it's not that. When we were talking about communism, the song, the one with Putin getting dance shoes,
I don't know the name of that song.
and we can't really play it because copyright law just says no to us, to everybody, a lot of the times.
Yeah. There are some crazy laws out there.
Mm-hmm. Politicians, that's the main problem with governments.
Kind of.
It is the main problems because
It's the people, not the system.
yeah, that's why I said politicians. The people.
Yeah. the interesting thing is, though, the people in America, we could start a revolution. It's in our rights.
Yeah, and
It's
I
in
think
the-
that's probably going to happen really, really soon. Like our friend was saying that we're overdue for a civil
For a
war.
civil war.
Yes. I kind of believe it, but I don't. Do you want to know why?
Why?
This time in history, America is the least violent.
By
We are
whose-
we are in the
whose-
least violent period of American history.
Yeah. Of world history, we're not as violent.
We're not as violent to other people, but to ourselves, we're kind of more violent.
Kind of.
But that's a problem. How teenagers are just like, yay, joke about death, and yeah. Sorry, tangent.
Yeah. I think we're getting lost.
Oh, we are. Anyways, the U.S. government is probably going to collapse this year or decade. It could.
It could collapse.
And if it collapses, what would you do?
We know what we'd do.
Well, what would you do?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, it does depend on how
How it
Everybody-
collapses and where you are.
where I'm at and how everybody else would react. If it collapsed, me and my family, we would band together with the rest of our family and our friends. We would gather together and protect each other.
What I would do is I'd get all my friends and all my family and go start a colonization,
A colony.
a colony, like start colonizing somewhere where nobody goes. Like just up in the woods and then just build things out of the trees there and stuff like that and then start up our own system there. Cuz if your brother joined us and stuff like that, you know what would happen? We'd have protection. We'd have he could train people for for like an army in case people tried to attack us. Because your brother is trained from the military,
Yeah.
so he could potentially train other people to be new recruits to like be like, okay, so we are working.
The best thing we could do in the event of a full-on collapse would be to work together.
Yeah. That's why I say get everybody, friends and family.
Not just friends and family. I mean, eventually you'd become friends with everybody, but if you could,
The reason I say friends and family is because you know them the best.
you know them the best. Yeah.
And plus, then if the colonization that we created in that secluded spot goes so far that we die and our grandkids are like middle-aged before they even gets noticed, we've done our job, basically.
The thing is, living out in the wilderness like that it'd be hard. You'd have to learn a lot of different skills.
Yeah,
and
which our friend group knows all those different skills.
which we could learn for sure.
That's why I was saying friends, because you already know how each other think and stuff like that.
And rather than making it just a closed group of people, if a group of people comes and rather than wanting to fight us, they want to like join us or something,
Then you'd let them in.
then let them in.
It's kind of
and-
like the game The Forest. How there's cannibals everywhere. Those could be those could represent like rioters, bandits, people who want to take things. And then you're there just trying to survive, trying to not die, and you're building things to keep them out and stuff like that.
What would you build first?
A protective barrier, a wall.
Like a wall
Actually, no,
of sorts.
no. I would build houses,
Shelter.
first, and then a good food and water supply, and then the wall.
Shelter.
Food, water, and warmth.
And then
And then defense.
Warmth you can always get from fire.
Yeah, but that kind of gives away your location.
Okay, but either way, if we're out there, we're gonna need some sort of warmth, whether it's fire or we're generating electricity.
Which actually, if that did happen, it would be best to go down towards Arizona. Because during the summer, yeah, it gets unbearably hot. But you can always just go cool yourself off in like a lake. But then during the winter, it's like a measly 60 degrees-ish. It doesn't snow that much. That's why it's better to be like down south more, because you're more
Go
towards
to
the
an
equator.
area where you can consistently farm, even in the winter.
Yeah. That's why I was saying somewhere like Arizona, because you could do that there.
And you could do this same thing with any sort of disaster, really.
Yeah. That's why it's be best to all gather together and head straight south.
Maybe, yeah. Or
We would be walking for long,
head to the west.
not for longer, for a while.
That also depends on what sort of vehicles we've got.
We'd probably just be walking,
Why do you say that?
because driving kind of
Draws attention.
draws too much attention, and if you're walking through the woods, you're almost invisible. And say it would be kind of like the pioneers, kind of. It
Kind
wouldn't
of.
be as far, but be a lot nicer because
Actually, it could technically be as okay. That would be weird. Opposite trail of the pioneers. Rather than traveling to the west,
you travel to the east.
you're traveling to the east.
It'd be better to go west or south. Because if you go east, then you'll have to go through so many other states that who knows what could happen.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it would be best to go south for like the winter or something. Like you could always be on the move.
Become nomads,
Hmm.
living on the move,
But
which actually might be a kind of fun lifestyle.
it would for some people like me and you. Some other people would get sick and tired of it.
Some people would get tired of it.
You would enjoy it for the first like couple months, then you would be like, okay, I just want to relax, settle down here for a while, not always be on the run.
I might enjoy it. Depends on who's there.
It depends on who's there and depends how old you are and how's your body treating you.
That's true. But the thing is, also as like nomads, natural evolution would help.
Yeah.
Although it would take lots of generations. But if we're always constantly on the move, your body would adapt. You would stay.
Yeah, the
You'd
body
stay
would
strong.
adapt, the mind really.
You would stay stronger for longer, and
Yeah, but it's like
your mind.
your mind couldn't handle as much.
Your mind could adapt too.
Yeah, but people usually like to settle down in an area, live out their life in an area and stuff like that. Not always on the move, always on the
Like
run.
roamers. And
That's why I say doing a defense would be the best. but you could always send out scouts for a better area.
Yeah.
But it would be dangerous to set out those scouts because bandits could be out and being like, ha 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 ha. Hey, look, this guy's just walking around. Let's steal his stuff and then kill him after we torture him. Ha ha ha.
That's why the scouts would be
Armed.
They'd be fast.
But the thing is, those bandits could be more armed and faster than our scouts.
Rather than just sending one scout out, you send out a group.
Send out at least 3 together, maybe even more.
3 specialized people.
3 trained specialized people.
This is purely hypothetical stuff.
It's not hypothetical, because if the government does collapse and chaos does go out, then guess what? We are prepared because we have a plan for the future if that does happen. If not...
It does, but this plan probably would never go into effect.
Never know. But the fastest way that would happen, though, because if the government did collapse at the U.S., so many other countries would try and take it over. We'd probably be half Canadian, half Mexican. Like, America would just get split from Mexico and Canada.
Maybe.
And then, yeah. But if all the governments launch all their nukes, this is where this would be the best.
World War III happens in 20 or 30 minutes.
No, a couple hours.
True,
because they have to launch.
They have to travel,
and then actually hit
where they're gonna hit.
Yeah,
but it would happen really fast. Just nukes launched, flying everywhere. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Almost everybody in the world is dead.
Yeah. I mean, a few places would be fine. And those would probably be strongholds. Because governments would collapse at that moment.
There would be no people in the government.
Yeah, and then people that are left are probably either non-corrupt or a little corrupt.
Or the most corrupt, because some of the most corrupt people have the most money and can get personal bunkers.
Yeah. Okay. If World War III did happen, and it was like that, then what probably theoretically would happen is people would band together and still continue out that war.
Potentially.
Because all the rich people would be in their bunkers, and then all the other people that didn't get hit would get drafted into the military or army.
Unless all the governments have collapsed, then no one cares about the war.
Yeah, but...
Because after that level of devastation all around the world,
yeah, but
would you want to fight anymore?
No. But the thing is, politicians aren't actually on the front lines. They just think, we need to win this war. If we don't win this war, we'll look humiliated. Where then there's the soldier where it's like,
who cares if we look humiliated?
I'm trying not to die out here. I want to go home to my family and children. And stuff like that.
Militaries would end up... a lot of people would probably desert.
Yeah.
At that point.
But the thing is, wars are fought from the politicians' eyes, while the soldiers die on the line. Because the politicians are the ones that declare war. And yet they say when they're done with war or not. Where then there's the soldiers They're on the front lines. They actually win a battle, but the war's still not over.
Yeah.
So it's almost like
One of the good
almost meant nothing.
One of the good things with medieval ages kings and stuff like that, especially if they were good kings, is they were sometimes on the front lines.
They were usually on the front lines.
A lot of times they were on the front lines.
Because they would rather die for their kingdom than watch their own
subjects die.
Like watch his own people fall at his feet while he sits there on top of his horse saying, "Go forth," with his sword pointing at the enemy. That's why King Arthur was so amazing.
If militaries were like that today, if governments were like that today, I think there would be less wars.
Yes, but the thing is, the reason governments aren't like that today is because it's always in line, not like as much freedom as today. It's always like, okay, you were born to the throne, you're going to rule, and that king, that ruler, the heir to the throne would be like, yay, war, I love war. So if you change it up a little bit,
I mean, with the
it would be the best government ever.
With the governments today, people that are in the government, if they are declaring war, they have battle experience. They have experience in war.
That's why, what's his name? I think it was John McClane. I think it was. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right.
Someone.
He tried to run for president. And he was captured in, like, he was part of the Navy. And he was captured for, like, I think 15 years or 5 years in a, I think, Japanese prison camp. Because he had battle experience, and then he went and tried to be the president. I can't remember if it's Navy, Air Force, or military, or Army.
Like some sort of military. But he
had experience.
He had experience, and I think he might have made a pretty good president because of that experience. You know how the soldiers feel. You know what goes on the front lines.
Yeah.
A lot of people
don't
know.
Politicians don't even know what goes on the front lines. That's why
a lot of people in general don't.
That's why war video games kind of help that. Kind of.
Not.
It doesn't say it doesn't. Yeah, not very much, but it gives you more of a open picture than other people. Say if everybody's open picture was the head of a pin, like the big thick part. Playing those video games makes it into a straw, about the width of a straw.
Not that much bigger, but
But then when you actually go into war, it opens your eyes to the full human vision. It's that little. But that's still more difference than other people.
A little bit makes a big difference.
Yes.
There's many, little things end up being the big things. It's like the butterfly effect.
Uh-huh. So, yeah. Well, we're going to end the podcast here.
Yeah.
See you guys in the next one.
Next time.
Have a good one.